Rabashandala kataya. Brendelebo shantaria. Kalabro shendele ketorobasaya. Holy Ghost fire. Let the fire of the Lord come down and consume anything that is not of God. Kalabro shendele ketorobasaya.
The old woman had been sitting there for years. No one knew when she first appeared, and no one knew where she came from. She sat by the roadside where people passed every day, under the scorching sun and under the cold evening breeze, always in the same position. But it wasn't her appearance that disturbed people the most. It was her eyes. There was something about them. Fear. Not the kind of fear you see in someone begging for survival, but the kind that made you feel she knew something terrible or had seen something no human should ever see. "Help me. Please help me," she would say, her voice weak, trembling, as she stretched out a small metal bowl. People pitied her, and they gave her money. Each time money was dropped into her bowl, she would quickly bow her head, whispering silently. Then she would smile. A faint, strange smile that never reached her eyes. Nothing seemed wrong until things started changing. A businessman who was doing well suddenly lost everything. Contracts failed. Investments crashed. Within months, he was broke. A woman who owned a thriving shop began to suffer loss after loss. Goods spoiled. Customers disappeared. A young graduate who had just gotten a job lost it unexpectedly. And every opportunity after that kept slipping away. People started talking. Have you noticed? Anyone who gives that woman money starts having problems. It's not ordinary, but many ignored it. Na coincidence, they said. One Sunday afternoon, a pastor was returning from church. His heart was light and his spirit still filled with the message he had just preached. As his car slowed near the roadside, he saw her, the old woman. "Help me, please," she cried weakly. The pastor stopped. He looked at her for a moment, then reached into his pocket and brought out some money. "God bless you," he said gently, as he stepped closer. But immediately, everything changed. The woman's expression shifted. Her eyes widened in fear. She pulled the bowl back sharply. "No," she snapped. The pastor froze. I don't need your money," she said, her voice shaking. The same woman who begged everyone was rejecting money? The pastor studied her carefully. Something was not right. But he said nothing. That night, the pastor could not rest. Something about the encounter disturbed his spirit deeply. So he prayed and prayed. "Lord, reveal the truth," he whispered. Eventually, he slept, and then he dreamed. In the dream, he saw the old woman, but she was no longer at the roadside. She was standing in a dark place, surrounded by shadows. In front of her were piles of money, huge amounts, stacked inside a grave. Another portion was hidden inside a coffin.
Then he saw something terrifying. Every time someone dropped money into her bowl, a light left that person, their glory, their destiny, and it flowed straight into the woman. But she did not keep it. She gave it to her children. Young men and women living comfortably, prospering, succeeding, using what did not belong to them. The pastor watched in horror. "This is how she feeds them," a voice echoed in the dream. "With the destinies of others." The pastor woke up immediately. Sweat covered his body. Without wasting time, he went on his knees and began to pray. Fervently, violently. Holy Ghost fire. Every stolen destiny be restored. Every evil altar catch fire. Let every hidden work of darkness be exposed. At that very moment, something happened. Far away, in the hidden coven, the ground shook. The piles of money caught fire. The altar where they were kept exploded into flames. And the old woman screamed in agony as fire consumed everything. The connection was destroyed. The next morning, the old woman was no longer seen at the roadside. Not that day, not the next week. She had completely disappeared. The roadside was empty, as if she never existed. People began to wonder, where is that old woman? She has not been here for days. Some shook their heads. Maybe she has died. Another person said casually, maybe a Dangote trailer hit her on the road. But nobody was found. No trace. Nothing. Just emptiness. And that is when fear slowly turned into silence. Because no one truly knew whether she was gone by accident or by something far more spiritual. Not every act of giving is safe.